Well, guys, it is good to be back with you. It has been a little while since we had an old school face to face video on YouTube. We have some news. Tommy Moffitt, you may have heard of him. We had some expectations getting one of the most successful strength and conditioning coaches in recent history. He chose A&M, came out of retirement, and we were hopeful that it would make a much tougher, stronger, and bigger Texas A&M in the 2024 season. And we have some early results. Thanks to CARELS and 247 Sports, we have early reports of the Texas A&M roster, specifically weight gain, weight loss for all the players. Now, after reviewing the team post-spring, after digesting the full season, the end of the 2023 season, I deemed one of the issues regarding Texas A&M's roster going into next season as bulk on the interior of the D-line. Now, this D-line has a lot of players. There's a lot of depth, especially the defensive end position. But I was a little bit fearful that this roster specifically lacked run-clogging bodies. You lose McKinley Jackson. You lose Isaiah Rakes. You lose Walter Nolan, who's not really that build, but he brings that level of power. You miss that guy that can clog up, occupy blockers, and just kind of blow offensive linemen back into the backfield, ruin running lanes. You need bulk to do this. You need to be able to stand your ground. You need some bulk to anchor you down while you push and attack offensive linemen. Well, we got some really good reports about some defensive tackles and a lot of guys across the offensive line of scrimmage, specifically at tight end and offensive line, of course. So I want to break this stuff down for you today. But of course, a couple of housekeeping notes. If you haven't heard, the day this is dropping, the day I'm recording this, is the day that the College Football 2025 video game comes out. So check out my channel if you want to watch those live streams. I'll be going live tonight. If you're watching this the next day, I'll be going live again Wednesday. And then Thursday night, we're going to bring back the call-in show so you can call in and ask or talk about whatever you want to talk about in the world of Aggie or college football. It's SEC Media Days this week, so we're going to get a lot of fat to chew on over the next couple of days. So guys, welcome back. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps me greatly. Let's get into it and talk about some of this weight gain stuff. So once again, thank you very much to Carter CARELS for making this concise article. I'll link the article in the description of this video. I take no credit for this list here that is nice and spelled out for us to consume. Thank you, Carter CARELS. I want to make sure we give him his credit for putting this together with 247 Sports, GIGEM 247. Let's just go from top to bottom. Now, this is from most weight gain to least weight gain. And honestly, this is remarkable. And I don't know if this is the college 35 or if this is actually 35 pounds of good weight. Maybe Blake Ivy needed weight regardless. Maybe he had the frame to add it on. I guess we'll see when we start getting practice reports. But Blake Ivy up to 330, gaining 35 pounds since he got here. Damn. I mean, we don't really have a basis for comparison here outside of high school. So that remains to be seen. But that's a mammoth of a man at 330, 6'4". Maybe a tackle in the future. He's a versatile guy. You could probably move him around. Now, this one is really cool to see. Donovan Green gaining 20 pounds from the last time he weighed in before his injury last fall camp. When you get a lower extremity injury, you're going to hit the weights. You can't run. You can't do agility drills. So what Donovan apparently did was hit the iron and put on 20 pounds, and I would wager that that's as close to a solid 20 pounds as you can get, given his situation, given the work ethic that we know this guy has, given the leadership capabilities that he has. You know he's going to want to lead by example. Colin Klein's going to want to use these tight ends in the blocking game a lot, and I have a good feeling we're going to see multiple tight end sets where they're used as blocking threats quite often. And Donovan Green just added 30 pounds to his leverage, to his body, and that's absolutely huge for this offense. And Donovan Green obviously is a guy going to be very important to this team. You lose your two top tight ends from last season in Max Wright, Jake Johnson. You really need someone to step up. And we expect it from Donovan Green. He's a leader from before he went down. He's a very productive player in his one season at Texas A&M. If he returns to form early and often, that's just so positive for Texas A&M's offensive success. So it remains to be seen. But the 20 pounds, you have to imagine he's more sturdy at that weight. Excited to see what he looks like. Demetrius Crownover just further separating himself from that tight end build that he came into college with, becoming a true offensive lineman his senior year. He has a huge opportunity ahead of him this coming year. With Chase Basantis moving back to left guard, Crownover and Fothery are going to fight for that right tackle spot. That's a spot that I think is kind of in flux for this team. I'm very confident about the left tackle position in Trey Zune, and even more confident maybe in the depth of the interior of that offensive line when you have Fowey, you have Dewberry, you have Basantis. You have Naboo and others that can all fight for those spots. TJ Shanahan was good in spring. You see his name right there below. He also gained 15 pounds since he was last weighed in. Huge. Aggie, already a giant, added 15 more pounds. I've always said that if Ackie's a guy you want to throw in a goal line situation just to kind of bear crawl forward to make room, that's your guy right there. Although you have a lot of big guys now with this weight gain. Look at TJ Shanahan. Look at Blake Ivy. I mean, there's a lot of guys in the 330 range now. Jaden Platt, pretty lanky, true freshman last year. Gaining 15 pounds is huge for a guy like that. Same comments for Theo Mellon-Orstrom. I mean, this tight end group is looking massive. Just better weapons for Colin Klein to use in the pass or in the run blocking game. You know, these guys have just become more versatile with this. And obviously with the weight gain, you hope it's clean weight gain and not stuff that, you know, kind of slows you down, weighs you down, bogs you down when you're trying to move around. You have to give Moffitt this benefit of the doubt at this point, right? Great track record. He's the kind of guy that other people pick up from what he teaches. Other people use the Moffitt method, and those are the kind of guys that you know are models in this sport, when they literally are the models for success in this sport with other programs using his ideologies. The punter gained 12 pounds. Why the hell not? Hunter Erb gaining weight, another O-lineman gaining weight. Probably won't see the field much this year, but that's good for his development, I'm sure, as long as it's clean weight. Amari Daniels gaining 10 pounds, which is huge for a guy like that. A shorter back, a stockier back, and now he projects to be maybe a little bit of a sturdier back with 10 more pounds on him. I think there's some more running back weight gain down below. Garrett Miller gaining weight, another tight end with plus 10 pounds. This is a big one. Shamar Turner gaining 10 pounds, getting to that 300-pound weight number. And that is right what I was talking about at the beginning of this video and at the end of spring. I felt like we were a little light inside at the defensive tackle position outside of Albert Regis. Maybe Rodas Johnson could bring some bulk there, but it turns out I think Rodas Johnson's actually under 300 pounds as well, the transfer out of Wisconsin. But now you have a starter that hit the 300-pound margin. And what's the difference between 290 and 300? Well, when you're dealing with other guys that are around 290, 300, 300 plus on the offensive line, and if you're able to maintain your quickness, Shamar Turner projects to be an absolute unit at 300 pounds, fully leaning into that interior D-line build because he was kind of a hybrid throughout his career. He projects as an absolute starter at D-tackle, a guy that you're probably going to see at D-tackle more than D-end this year by a significant margin because of the personnel that is available to Mike Elko at defensive end. He's probably playing the most inside we've seen him play in his whole career, although I wouldn't be surprised to see him move around. A lot of the same can be said for DJ Hicks, kind of a hybrid build, also projecting to play more of a true D-tackle role. And in the bowl game, I rewatched it recently. DJ did get blown back a few times, and I will say this about Oklahoma State's offensive line. That was a damn experienced offensive line. That's an offensive line of men, upperclassmen, heavy offensive line they went up against, and they did push DJ Hicks around a little bit at times when he didn't have the right footwork, when he wasn't, having a successful play, inconsistencies in a young guy. That extra 10 pounds for both of these guys, I would wager goes an extremely long way and is just what the doctor ordered for this defensive line. Same thing with Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy. Now, I thought Dindy had less of this problem. If he was to lose a battle, it was more of getting stonewalled than, getting blown back. 10 pounds is going to go a long way, and of course, it's going to be health with GBD, and that's a guy that every time I see him play, I am blown away. I am impressed. He has that McKinley Jackson thing where he just throws people backwards into the pocket, into the backfield. I think GBD has maybe the highest ceiling of the non-Shamar Turner defensive tackles on this team. Love to see it. And I hope he puts it to good work and he's healthy. Cassius Howell gaining 10 more pounds. Maybe a little bit light at 235 for an SEC D end. 245, 6'4", that's just perfect for an edge rusher. I cannot wait to see this guy in third down packages. Martrell Harris maturing, a name that we haven't heard much of recently, which isn't necessarily a good sign. But hey, with 10 pounds more under his belt, maybe we see his name emerge this spring with a wide open linebacker position up for grabs, we think. Des Ricks, true freshman, going into his sophomore year, obviously was hurt during spring. Put on some weight while he was hurt. You love to see it. At 195, 6'1", he's starting to emerge into that mold of defensive back that Elko loves, and that's a nice, big, juicy defensive back. Elko loves those guys. Same for BJ Mays. Same for Donovan Sanders. These guys all got bigger. Another punter gaining 10 pounds. We're just thick punter you, I guess. Isaiah Williams, true freshman, gaining 8 pounds. You love to see it from the time he stepped onto campus to the time he gets into fall camp. Gain 8 pounds. Same with Jabari Barber, another newcomer. Hopefully he becomes healthy earlier in the year than later. Huge, just really big, especially for a young guy like Isaiah Williams who, true freshman come in a little skinny, a little lanky, got to put some weight on. It's great to see him come in and put 8 on right away. Connor Wigman, if you've seen him recently, he definitely is starting to look like an upperclassman. You feel like with quarterbacks, the sophomore to junior body change, that's always where it kind of bounces up a little bit, in my experience from what I've seen watching this game. You know, quarterbacks are probably more into the cerebral, into the technical part of the game than maybe some of the more physical positions. Kind of got to let the body mature naturally. You don't have to be a freak of nature to be a quarterback, so you're not going to necessarily see like these jacked quarterbacks, especially early in their careers. They need to grow up a little bit. And it looks like we're seeing that from Connor Wigman. At 6'3", 220, I mean, this guy's getting to a pro build. That's a pro build right there. So we're super excited to see it. Obviously, health is the thing. More O-line weight gain. Armaj, Reed Adams, who had a great spring, up 5 pounds. Ruben Fothery, up 5 pounds. I'm neither here nor there on that one. With Ruben, it's about getting back into, playing shape. We saw last year he never got into the swing of things, never really got into a rhythm. Didn't see the field besides garbage time. Ruben Owens and Le'Veon Moss putting on 5 is obviously huge as long as it's good weight. You want more weight on these running backs in the SEC, take more of a pounding, push people forward more. And we saw Ruben Owens kind of, sometimes struggle at that first line of attack with defensive lines, linebackers, to be expected for a true freshman running back. But maybe now he's able to lean forward and get a couple more yards on those plays, whereas that was definitely Le'Veon Moss's forte. And with him putting 5 pounds more on, that guy feels like a bell cow right now. E.J. Smith with another 5 pounds on. Excited to see him play. Another tight end gaining 5 pounds. And Trey Watson, who I expect big things out of this year. Experienced player coming out of Fresno State. Huge. Rodas Johnson, Shamar Stewart. Rodas getting to 300. Awesome to see another 300-pounder on that defensive tackle position. Shamar Stewart gaining 5 more pounds. One of my breakout players on the team. You guys all expect it. I expect it. He was getting better and better throughout the course of last year. Has a ton of experience now dating back to the beginning of his true freshman year. This is the Shamar Stewart season, in my opinion. Eni White, a guy that really needed it. Malik Silla, a guy that really needed it. Maybe you would hope it was a little bit more than 5 pounds, but hey, let's just see what these bodies look like. Maybe they've become a little bit more chiseled, shedding some baby fat, getting more lean, getting more chiseled while putting on weight. That's the hope here, because with these two, Eni and Malik Silla, that was always the thing. Nick Scorton can do whatever the hell he wants. I don't care what he weighs. He's a freak beast. We can't wait to watch him. Kendall Jackson, Torin York, Damian Sanford, all also putting on 5 more pounds. These are guys I didn't really worry about weight-wise. I guess Kendall Jackson, it's a big deal being a younger guy. But Torin York and Damian Sanford, didn't worry about it before, but they're naturally growing before our eyes. 5 more pounds there. Same with Tristan Jernigan. More DBs gaining weight. Chance Johnson gaining weight. Guys you might not see early on. And then Cyrus Allen with a clean 1-pound gain. So just kind of railed through these quickly and highlighting some of the most significant ones. It's cool to see these DBs all grow. That's going to be huge. It's going to be important to tackle at that last level of defense in the SEC. Absolutely. Now, weight subtractions, obviously, Samu Tamu Anupepe, something that probably needed to happen. It's always great to have a 400-pounder, but if it's not really getting you on the field, might as well shed that weight. At 350, he's still a mammoth. He's still a giant human being. Maybe there are some 3rd and short, 4th and short goal line situations you can see him in. Albert Regis, surprisingly shedding 15 pounds. He's still 3'10". He's not the tallest guy. Maybe 3'10" is better for a 6'2" kind of a guy. Maybe it's better for him. He already had a great motor for his position. He was always able to get after players. And maybe we see that to an even higher level this year. It remains to be seen. I was kind of expecting him to be that clogger, and losing 15 pounds doesn't really lend itself towards that, but let's see how it goes. I'm not going to knock it till I see it. Moose losing 10 pounds, I guess there's a lot of ways to read into that, right? With Moose, we've always heard, it's about effort, concentration, consistency. So was he not hitting the weight room, not doing the diet right, and losing 10 pounds? Or did he shed 10 bad pounds and become leaner, more focused, more agile, quicker? So that remains to be seen. It can go either way right now. Same, Jade losing 5 pounds, 6'4", 205. It really could be a speed thing, because I felt like this receiver room maybe didn't have that elite top-end SEC speed, and maybe losing weight here adds to that. Maybe it makes these guys faster. Maybe it is a positive. That's obviously glass half full. There's obviously a negative side to that I just mentioned. Right now, I'm going to lean glass half full and say that maybe this receiver room is a little bit quicker than it was last year with the same guys. So that could be really exciting. Look out for that. Bryce Anderson shedding 3 pounds, not a big deal in my opinion. And those are the big weight changes. Those are all the changes in weight from this year to last year. Some really exciting stuff, especially that tight end position, man, and at the defensive line. Those are kind of the two most significant that we're seeing here that can really potentially impact the game. Super exciting to see that. A couple of interesting things. Terry Bussey, going to wear number 2. Cool. Let's see him out there. Let's see him out there. He's playing DB. I mean, does that mean he's not playing any offense, or is he going to have to change his number on offense because Ruben Owens wears number 2 on offense? Interesting. Ernest Campbell coming in at 145 pounds is kind of shocking. 5'9", 145. Can he play year 1 at that weight? Maybe. Maybe there's some packages. I was expecting like a 170, but 145 is very slight. We'll have to see. Dalen Evans wearing 31. Who knows what he contributes coming off of an injury in his freshman year. And yeah, y'all can read through this. Miles O'Neal wearing 19. And that's about it, guys. That's kind of the significant stuff that we got on the roster announcement. So, guys, just wanted to jump on real quick and highlight this. This is stuff we were looking out for going into the year. Now it's time to look out for SEC Media Days and just consume that and enjoy it for what it is. It's right around the corner, guys. To me, SEC Media Days is the unofficial start to the season. Now, for me, I have a work trip coming up this weekend, and after that, I am hitting in-season form. The videos, the previews, the position breakdowns, those are going to start coming next week, so look out for that stuff. I'm going to bring you guys a bunch of CFB 25 gameplay, and of course, on Thursdays, we'll continue to do the call-in show. Keep watching, and look out for the schedule change once the season starts. But for now, keep it real and gig 'em.